Hi guys, today I wanted to show you this foxy face paint design, so let's get started. To start off, I'm using a white face paint and a wet sponge. I'm hiding away my septum ring. I don't think that's a very good look for a fox. Anyway, I'm giving myself a nice white moustache and then covering the lower half of my face in white, and I'm also going over my eyebrows and down my neck. Now I'm using orange face paint and I'm filling in the rest of my face. And that's what happens when you use too much water. Oopsie. Oh well, it'll be covered up later anyway. Back to the white face paint, I'm applying another coat around my jawline and neck just to get that a little bit more white. And let's get going with some detail. To start that fur effect, I'm going in with some reddish brown face paint and I'm making quick wispy lines from the middle of my nose outwards. And I'm using the same technique for my forehead as well, flicking the brush upwards towards my hairline. And I'm also adding some brown to my eyebrows. I'm using the same flicking technique to go down onto my neck, and I'm also using the same brown face paint to cover my eyelids. Using some very diluted black face paint, I'm lightly brushing in more fur marks around my cheekbones and eye sockets just to add a little bit of depth. And after dotting on a few little whisker dots to my top lip and patting them down with my finger to blend them in slightly, I'm now outlining and filling in the very tip of my nose. From the septum to the top lip, and then filling in a thin line on the top lip and curving the line upwards at the edges of the mouth, and my foxy smile is complete. I'm actually just adding a little bit of black to the very inside of my bottom lip as well, and this is because over time the black tends to transfer from the top lip to the bottom, and this will just give it a little bit more staying power. Moving on to a small angled brush now, I'm using all four colours to layer up that fur effect, and just keep going with this until you are happy with the effect. And be sure to blend the orange and white areas in together just at that joining line to make sure the fur looks all one level, if that makes sense at all. When going between black and white face paints, I would recommend that you make sure that your brush is super clean before you switch colours, or you're just going to get like a muddy grey colour. Either make sure that your brush is super clean or use a completely different brush. is where I'm really wishing I'd tied my hair back before I started. It's a good idea to go straight up to the hairline with these flicks just to make the face look complete. Quick dab of white on the very tip of my nose to give that nice healthy shine. Moving on to eyeshadows now, I'm using a small eyeshadow brush and the orange and red kind of shadows from my Mermaids Forever palette, and I'm adding a few more strokes to add highlights and depth to the fur. And now I'm covering my whole eye area with the deeper red shadow. And giving the muzzle area some shading with dark brown. I'm starting off by tight lining my lower waterline with a black eyeliner pencil, and then making a downward point on the inner corners and a large upward pointing wing on the outer corners, and then filling in the rest of my eyelid up to the crease with that same black. Sharpen up those points using your black face paint and a very fine brush. Now back to that dark brown eyeshadow. I'm just patting that on all over the eyelids and up to the brow just to set everything in place and create a nice even blend. Few little finishing touches. And some well placed whiskers, and our foxy face paint is done. Whether you're a foxy lady or a fantastic Mr. Fox, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and maybe suggest what face I should create next in the comments. Big hugs as always, bye!